The Russian president himself lied into the face of European leaders, saying he was not planning to attack. It was days before the invasion. Russia is shameless. They sit at the chair they occupied in 1991 on dubious legal grounds, armed with a veto right and the feeling of total impunity. Russians are confident that they can get away with anything and they are entitled to do anything they want. They think this seat allows them to violate borders in a 19th century style imperialist conquest. They think it allows them to shell nuclear power plants and seize them. They think it allows them to unleash missile terror on civilians and critical infrastructure. They think it allows them to threaten the world with the use of nuclear weapons. They must be held accountable for all of this. The issue of responsibility is central to the debate. We need to ensure that behavior like this is punishable. Otherwise, every force in the world, every evil force in the world, will be tempted to follow in Russia's footsteps. I don't need to remind anyone at this table how many forces on the planet would like to question the borders of their neighbors. If Russia can do this, why can't they? Today, we're talking not only about Ukraine and Russia. The global security crisis we all face is so much larger. All members of the Council must realize that on February 24th, Russia attacked not only Ukraine, it dealt a deadly blow to the very foundations of the United Nations Charter. No nation can feel safe until Russia is held to account for violating the common principles agreed by all after the Second World War. Russia does not care for them, but there are 192 other UN member states, nations of Asia, the Pacific, Africa, the Middle East, Latin America, and Europe are all interested in upholding the UN Charter today. And Ukraine is fighting to defend principles of this Charter, especially the principle of territorial integrity. Madam President, Russia's war of aggression has plunged the world into a multifaceted crisis. The consequences of this crime are felt far beyond Ukraine. Once Russian warships blocked Ukrainian seaports, it became clear that Ukrainian agricultural exports are vital to global food security. Russia has demonstrated that it is ready to put millions of people across Asia, Africa, and the Middle East at the risk of hunger simply to achieve its imperialistic goals. I take this opportunity to thank UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres and Turkey for facilitating the Black Sea Grain Initiative that allowed Ukraine to resume maritime grain exports this summer. Putin recently lied when he said that most of the grain has been sent to European countries. In fact, 2/3 of the grain we shipped went to consumers in Africa, the Middle East, and Asia. The resumption of Ukrainian exports has tamed food prices and allowed to ease the acute food insecurity, especially for those most vulnerable. Today, the Black Sea Grain Initiative is under threat. Russian officials are questioning the effectiveness of the corridor and might prepare to block the extension of the initiative once the agreed 120 days are over in November. We must not allow Russia to resume its hunger games with the world. I therefore urge all nations, especially those depending on Ukrainian food exports, to put maximum public and diplomatic pressure on Moscow, demanding to keep the Black Sea Grain Corridor functioning in November and beyond. We need to protect the vital grain initiative together. Ukraine remains a global food security guarantor. Despite our own dire situation, we decided to provide humanitarian aid to Ethiopia and Somalia, sending them an additional amount of our grains. Ukraine is interested in increasing maritime export volumes, both under the UN Food Programme and on market conditions. While hitting peaceful Ukrainian cities with missiles, Russia uses food and energy as weapons against the rest of the world. Putin sends tanks into Ukraine to kill Ukrainians while stealing the well-being and stability from every European household with energy blackmail and playing hunger games with Asian, African, Middle Eastern families by threatening the functioning of the grain corridor. We are in the same boat, all of us, Europeans, Asians, Africans, Arab nations, Latin American states. We are in the same boat, and we must confront these threats together. There is no place for neutrality. I said back in February here at the United Nations that no nation will be able to sit out this crisis created by Russia. It still stands. The best reaction to this crisis: stand with Ukraine to protect the UN Charter. Russia likes to talk about the developed world and the developing world. They try to drive a wedge between ones and the others. We in Ukraine do not differentiate. All people deserve a normal life, safety, stability, and confidence. But we must stay united to stop Russia's blackmail and the war on humanity it launched. Dear colleagues, the most important pillar of international peace and security is the territorial integrity of states. No country is allowed to change internationally recognized borders by force. Russia has badly damaged this principle, and now the threat of war is hanging over everyone's head. To restore international peace and security, we need urgent and decisive action. Yesterday, President Zelensky proposed a peace formula which includes not only accountability, but a mechanism of security guarantees based on Article 51 of the UN Charter. Ukraine has developed the Kiev Security Compact, proposing a modern, multi-layered mechanism of guarantees to ensure Ukraine's security until the moment it becomes part of NATO. This document, though, is much broader than a tool of guarantee the security of Ukraine only. We see it as a universal mechanism that can be considered and applied to other countries and contexts in order to strengthen regional and global security architecture. Ukraine keeps working with partners to realize the vision of the Kiev Security Compact. This is our added value to international peace and security for all UN member states. Thank you.